Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We have a few things to discuss today. I want to get into a couple of really important things. Okay, let's see. The 14th, 15th, and the 16th, we had shifts. Not big, but enough to, like I said, to feel it. Okay, Saturday we had a shift in the afternoon, which is not really common. We usually get it, in the AM or, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. But yeah, Saturday afternoon, about 11:30, we had a shift. And I know a lot of you people felt it. And within a blink of an eye, things in front of you in real time, whatever, changed, completely changed from one second to the other. So I'd like to know if any of you guys experienced that, which I'm sure a whole lot of you have. Okay. Another thing that I want to discuss is time. Time right now, although it does not exist, really doesn't exist, but I have to put it the way we can understand it and the way I can explain it. So, okay. Um, Time is going loopy. It's going kind of back and forth, flip flopping back and forth. Now, I remember about 4.5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever, I had did a show and I explained that it's no longer a 24-hour day. Okay. That it's now a 19-hour day. And at the time, I mean, a handful of people were like, yeah, you're right. Time seems to be speeding up and blah, 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 blah. And the rest were like, no, that's not happening. I'm not. Okay. That was 4.5 years ago. Um, let's see, about 2 years ago, I did another show and I explained that time is speeding up more. It's no longer a 19-hour day, no longer a 24-hour day. It's now a 16-hour day. And now people started going, oh, yeah, you know what? It does, but not, it doesn't feel like a 16-hour day. It feels more like a 19-hour day. Now here we are. Boom. Everybody's feeling it. Time is speeding up like crazy. It definitely feels like a 16-hour day. And there are days that it feels like a 12-hour day. Okay. Time is flip flopping. It's breaking down. It's getting confused with, how do I put this? The other, it gets so tricky to word this correctly. Reality that our other selves reside in. Okay, it's kind of colliding with that. I'm going to give you an example, a really quick example. A friend of mine had reached out to me and was completely, her and her husband were completely thrown through a loop. They had found out, well, let me get, she knocked on her friend's door, her neighbor, and her neighbor was really upset because she had told her that, her brother is dying of cancer. It just came out of nowhere. And, all of a sudden he's in hospice and they're unplugging him. And it's called, I think, a level down or something like that, a level up, level down. I don't know what it's called, but the exact words. But she had told her that the priest came and, blessed him and all this stuff, and they were just going to let him go on his own. When he stopped breathing, they just took, all the machines off of him, life support and stuff. And she was really upset about it. And, she went back in the house and she told her husband, and her husband's like, yeah, I know, because I ran into her other brother, a little while ago, and he had told me the same thing, that's what they were going to do. And that was on Wednesday, which I think was the 14th. I don't even remember. So, yeah, so the next day came and went, and then the day after that, she knocks on her neighbor's door like she usually does in the morning for coffee or whatever. And her neighbor was hysterical crying. My girlfriend was, talking to her, and she's like, "No, you don't understand. They're taking my brother off of life support today." And she repeated the same exact thing that she told her on Wednesday, word for word. And my girlfriend was like, yeah, but you said that Wednesday that they were doing that. She was like, what are you talking about? They never did that on Wednesday. They just did it this morning. And, and my girlfriend was really messed up over it. And she called me up, very good friends of mine too. And she had told her husband was like, no, it's impossible because I ran into her brother. Now, this is not miscommunication. Okay. It was like, just like a time warp. It was a complete time warp. It already happened. on Wednesday, and then it happened 3 days after that. Again, the same exact way it played out on that day, it played out again. Okay. So, because there's so many things I want to touch on, but I'm going to do this really quick and then I'll elaborate a little bit more on another video because I'm kind of pressed for time, but I wanted to get this out there. Okay. We look at it as, everything is duality. You have to have duality to have an experience, to have creation, to have anything. There has to be. There's no question about it. Okay, some people think we reside in different trillion, endless different realities, and for every movement or whatever, it jumps to we exist in different realities. Is endless us, and I don't believe that. I believe that there are two. I do believe that there are two that reside at the same time, which time doesn't exist, but it's all happening right now. The only thing is, my consciousness is focused on this timeline, on this body, on this reality, on this experience, where existing in another reality right here with this one at the same exact time, like I said, because there is no time, I am more of a bot because I'm not consciously aware of that experience, because you can only consciously be aware of one, okay, at a time. You can't be two. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. And I would love to elaborate on why, but I can't, and it's really not that important. Okay. um so somehow that other aspect of you on that timeline and this timeline are starting to collide. 3 days before, 3 days after, you guys are going to notice this. Okay. For instance, you'll put something down and you'll walk away and it'll be completely gone. And you're like, where the hell is it? I just put this. It was right here. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't touch it. And seriously, like 2 or 3 days later, you'll walk in that room and there's that thing. Like you missed it for 3 days. You walked by that same spot and it wasn't there. Things like that. It's going back and forth. Um, the experience that we're having on that other frequency is really not that important for me to get into. Is it similar to this one? Is it not? Is it this? It's different. It's different. There are times when it is similar, but for the most part, it is different because being dual, you have to have good and bad. And I know, guys, you're not going to want to hear this, but in this reality where my consciousness is aware of this one, I am good. In the other one, not so much. It was hard for me to understand this. It was hard for me. I was like, no, that's not true because I'm good all the way, all around. I can't even picture me being mean. But it's true. You're both parts. You're good and bad. Absolutely. Um, to validate that, actually, and a lot of you are gonna, this is gonna resonate with. You'll have somebody all of a sudden call you up and be like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore because of the way you've been acting. And you're like, what are you talking about? I haven't spoken to you in a week. And like, no, you said this and you said that. And you're like, no, I didn't. Or somebody who left a comment on one of my videos and said that his coworkers, his manager or something like that, had confronted him and said, you're bullying the other person, your coworker. And he's like, I've never said anything about her. And she was like, he said this and he said that, and da, 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 da. You're going to notice all this shit. Okay. Um, yeah, you're going to start to notice that, and people are just going to be upset with you for things that you've never done. They're going to remember different conversations. You'll reach out and talk to someone and they're just going to be cold, not the same anymore, until you kind of find out why, and they go, well, you did this and that, and you have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So yeah, we are colliding into each other. That's basically the best way that I could put it. That really is happening. Um, so time is kind of, I want to say, breaking down, breaking down. It's kind of breaking down to the point where it's just, even though it doesn't exist in this reality, we know it to exist. It's going to get to a point where it doesn't anymore, and being able to create your own realities, becoming more and more possible. And this is really, really, really important. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little bit out there each time I do a video because I can't do it in one video. I can't do it. First of all, it's not supposed to, and if I tried it, it'll just dismiss itself like it has before. Okay, so I'm just going to give you little bits and pieces. Clean slate. Today, I want a clean slate from all of you guys, but I'll get into that in a little while. I also want you guys to you're going to start noticing as far as the time thing. You'll look at the clock and it'll say, for instance, 12:30, and I don't know. You'll get up and do a few things and go back, and the clock says 11:30, and you're like, but wait, it just said 12:30. I know it was said 12:30. Yeah, could you make a mistake? Yeah. Can you make a mistake 2, 3 times a day? No. 10, 15, 20 times a week? No, you can't. Another thing that you guys are going to experience, and it's not the exact scenario that I'm saying, but along those lines. Um, for those of you that like to listen to music, I'll give you an example. I'll just give you me. Driving, listening to a really, really good song. And then I'm like, you know what? I have a headache. I'm just going to shut this song off. I don't even want to hear it because I can't hear my navigator. I'm trying to get somewhere. So I shut the song off in the middle of it. And I don't know, maybe about, I took a picture of it actually. It was about 26 minutes past. And I turned the radio back on, and that song that I was listening to was still on. Exactly where I shut it off, it continued. It was like time actually stopped. It completely stopped for 26 minutes that I was on the road trying to find a particular place and listening to my navigator. Time completely stopped. And you guys will feel when it happens, because you kind of get in this, how can I explain it? You feel like you're moving in slow motion, like everything is just in slow, and it'll last for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't really matter, but you will feel it. And it's just really off. And like I said, it's like moving through jello is the best way I could explain it. It just feels like everything is jello. So like I said, it's not the same exact scenario that you guys are experiencing with the radio, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, you could even do it with your television, watching a show mid through and midway, and you shut it off and you go back, and a half hour later, it's still right where it was. And it doesn't make any sense because it's supposed to be over a certain time and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yeah, but the whole thing is just, it's completely breaking down. Guys, I don't mean to talk fast or to try to get this out there fast, but when I when I get certain information, I need to get it out there as quick as possible. Okay, because like I said, I'm watching. It's being given to me in pictures, and I'm trying to get it out as fast as possible because I don't. I was doing something, and I didn't have the time to write it down, to reflect, to go back on it later and to make this video. So I just need to get it while it's coming to me, and it is coming to me big time. Okay, for the last 2.5 hours. Um, yeah, a lot of weird things that you're going to experience. Okay, I this is why I made this video today. You guys can do whatever you want to do. I'm not insisting that you listen. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just going to throw this out there. But I believe that is extremely, extremely important, okay, to detach yourself from those things, those people, relationships, family, friends that not no longer serve you, because I don't like that, because nobody should serve anybody, but that don't meet you halfway and give you 50-50. It's like not a 50-50 with them. It's you always giving more. It's say you have those really good friends that you have for 10, 20, 30 years, a lifetime, and you always find yourself picking up the phone to call them, but they hardly ever call you. And as soon as they pick up the phone, it's like yada 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 yada, them. Well, you only get 2 words, and it's about them venting about everything in their entire life. And then it's like, okay, I gotta go. It's not a 50-50 thing. Okay, relationships, family, all of this. You need to detach yourself from all of it, from whoever, whatever is not meeting you halfway. Let it go. And you don't do it like, oh, I decided to let go of them because, they're selfish and this and that, and they're calling me, well, the hell with them. I'm not going to pick up the phone. That's not the attitude I'm telling you to have. I'm telling you to have the attitude is, I want you to have is the understanding. It does nothing for me. It aggravates me to deal with these people. It aggravates me to deal with this situation. It hurts me as a friend that it's always me reaching out to a particular person, or it's always me, saying, hey, how are you? And they really couldn't care less. Maybe they'll ask, but yet they'll go on to talking about something else before you even get a chance to answer them, or maybe they don't even listen to the answer if it's through text or message. When they don't even, it doesn't even bother. You need to let them go. Some eventually will realize when you're not there what they've done, that they weren't very good to you. And, it wasn't a 50-50, and their life was a little bit better with you in there, while you were a part of it, and they will reach out. And when that happens, I want you to welcome them back with open arms, and all your love, everything. Okay. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't, but you have to let it go. At this time, it is important that you detach yourself from this story, because you are creating this story along with everybody else. All the tragedies, everything, you are a part of it. You are part of that creation. You know what? I've had people tell me that's not true, Gloria. That's not true, because I didn't go on a rampage and go killing people, or I didn't go and do this, and I'm not the reason why there's people starving. Yeah, you are co-creating it. You're doing it. You're doing it. We are all doing it, and we're all responsible. And I'm going to tell you why. I know that you weren't the person that went in there and went on a shooting spree, or you're not the reason why that person, that country is falling apart and there floods. I understand that you're not physically doing it. Okay. You didn't physically have a hand in it. But when you see these things, and they bother you, and you reach out to a friend or anyone in the supermarket, and you have a conversation and go, I can't believe what just happened with the shooting and all those poor people and this and that. When you do that, you are helping create the story, because the story, the best way I can chat, the best way I can say right now, the story is this: it's a bubble. It's a bubble that has its own energy and its own frequency. And you are in that bubble. As long as you pay attention to what is going on, it affects you. You discuss it with other people, with anger, with hatred, with sadness. Regardless, you will stay in that bubble of that story. I need you guys to get out. I need you guys to get out of the story. Oh, but Gloria, but how do we ignore all the tragedy? Ignore it. Because if you ignore it, you don't feed it. You're not part of cooperating in it. You're not part of creating more of it. You will give it strength. If you ignore it and say, I will not be a part of this, all those things are happening, don't know about them. Know nothing about them. Stop watching the news. Stop watching bullshit. Get off of Facebook. I deleted my Facebook. I deleted my Facebook for a couple of reasons. I mean, I have great people on there that they follow me on my channel. They have my phone number. They can call me if they want to call me. If not, they don't have to. Like he says, it's a 50-50. I'm always here, but for the most part, the negativity, the news feed, this is happening, this dog is being slaughtered, this animal is being abused, this child is being enough. If you look at it and it affects you, you are creating it, and you are in here. It is time to step out. Start to create your reality for yourself, and your reality will be way different than me, because it'll be your illusion. You'll have an aspect of me in your reality. I can't get into that right now, and it's not that important right this second. It really isn't. I will touch on it, I promise. But as I'm channeling, and you'll notice when I do, I get an overdrive. Okay, so please just pay attention. Create your own story. It is time for you to do that. And people will say, well, how do I create my story? How does that happen? How do I manifest things? And I promise you, I will give you that information. I promise you. But for now, I will just give you a little. And the first thing is to get out of there, get out of all of it. All of it. Okay? And start to manifest what you want. Start to think about the things you want. Start to feel that happiness and how you want your reality to be. Let go of these people without anger, without going, well, I really miss them, and let them go. You stand alone because you are, because there is nobody else but you. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but some know what I'm talking about. Okay? This is now become the time for you to create solo, not collectively anymore. Okay? Let's see. Some people, oh, there's so much I want to say. Jeez. I know all of you have heard the saying, I am that I am. Right? It's in the Bible, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. People live by that I am that I am, which I think is kind of nice. I like it. It's got a kind, a little flow to it. Um, I use it in a different way when I say I am that I am, not the same way that religious people use it, or for a majority of people. But it seems to be a very important thing that people are trying to live by, that it is the most important words in creation. It has the power to allow one to understand oneself, to understand source, God, light, love, whatever you call creator. They put so much meaning into I am that I am. But I'm going to tell you something. It's not the most important words spoken into creation. It's not the way to source, to understanding the creator. It really isn't. And some might say, well, for me it is, and that's great. That's great, knowing the what I just said, the meaning to that word, that phrase for some people is saying, okay, I am that I am. I know what I am. Now I can go and create my reality. How's that working for you? How's it working for you? What are you manifesting? I bet maybe out of 50 things that you want to manifest, maybe one will come, and that's just a fluke. Okay. The most important words in creation that will allow you to be able to create your own experience is not I am that I am. It's I know. It's I know. Just give me a minute, guys. I'm sorry. Whoa. People have studied, most of you guys, especially, empaths, people, just truth seekers, whatever, have, I think you all share something in common. You all did the research on different, religions and Buddhism and stuff like that. And the biggest thing that they try to teach you, including the Bible, the biggest thing that they try to instill in your head is to let go of desire. Let go of desire. Guys, if you let go of desire, you will not create anything in your life, because manifestation is created through desire. forgive me. The way you manifest is through your desire. And the way you seal it is by saying, I know. I can't say no more. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. If what I say struck a chord with you, then do it. Do it. Step out of the collective creation. You're given the go ticket. It's up to you if you use it or not. Some may not want to. Some like the search, but for the most part, most of us are tired. And like I said, throughout different religions and different beliefs and stuff like that, they give some truth without explanation. Tell you manifest this without telling you how to, or let go of desire. They just give you half truths, and I'm giving you the whole truth. Don't let go of your desire, because that is the way you create. And I don't like the word manifest because it sounds like chaos to me. But that's the way you're going to create. But the first step in all of this is to detach yourself from those that don't show you the same as you show them. And it's okay to show people a little bit more because, a lot of healers and stuff like that. I get it. I get it. But there has to be compassion. There has to be respect with the other person. Even if it's not like a 50-50, it still should be that 10 minutes of total compassion for you to make you feel, I have friends that I talk to, and seriously, no joke, I'll look at the phone at 2.5 hours when by, and they're just going on about their lives, and I don't mind it at all, and I try to help them, and I literally get 4 minutes, and I've looked at it, I've timed it, but that 4 minutes of me talking to them about me, I get their undivided attention and love. I could feel it, and that's all I need. Okay, just detach yourself. Stop worrying about the what ifs. All of it. Let it take care of its. Let it take care of itself. It will, if you believe it. Desire, belief. You've heard people say, let go of your belief system, everything that you believe, and you will be able to manifest. But they don't get into detail on how you do that when you let go of your beliefs. Because people turn around and say, but I don't have beliefs in religion, and I don't have beliefs in restricting myself, and blah, blah, blah. And how come I can't manifest? Because they leave the middle out. And there's a reason. And I'm giving you the middle. But first, I'm giving you the beginning, a little bit of the middle. And as we go along, you'll get it. You'll understand it. You will branch off to your own reality because it is yours and yours alone. I'm speaking to myself. And those that are looking in the mirror, and those that are looking at this video, and those that are looking at the TV or looking at, you're the only one. It's your illusion. It is your illusion. With that, I gotta go, and I have to get my energy back, because when I channel that fast, which I'm out of it right now, I'm out of that zone, I get really tired. So I just want you to know I love you guys very, very much. I will be back soon. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Love you all.